Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, let me turn this fan off. You find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Listen, man. Shadasia Green against Savanah Marshall. Listen, look. Women's boxing deserves all the respect in the world. But you got to keep it real. Whether you're talking about men's boxing, women's boxing, you're talking about the amateur ranks, whatever. What chance does Shadasia Green have against Savanah Marshall? That's my question. And make sure y'all like and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Leave that donation for that fried rice and chicken wing. Become a member to the channel if you like the content. That's all I'm asking. So hold your horses and let's stop taking it to the stupid. Shadasia Green and Savanah Marshall have a common opponent. Franchon Cruz-Dezurn, or the way Clarissa Shields would say it, Franchon, you did that, girl, Franchon. Anyway, Cruz-Dezurn lost to Savanah Marshall. Savanah Marshall put the beans on her. Cruz-Dezurn, she fought though. She fought hard, but she lost. She was outclassed. But then Cruz-Dezurn came, man, and she got a unanimous decision victory over Shadasia Green when they fought in 2023. I mean, it was a lopsided decision, like 97-93 scorecards and a 98-92. So when you look at that, it just, to me, I'm not saying because Cruz-Dezurn beat Shadasia Green, that means Savanah Marshall is going to beat her. No, that's not what I'm saying. But when you look at who's technically superior and has the better training and better experience, I mean, it's hard for me to go against Savanah Marshall, you know what I'm saying? I mean, Shadasia Green struggled to land clean shots when she fought Cruz-Dezurn. And she had, Cruz-Dezurn just had to clinch her. And she was able to neutralize Shadasia Green's power. Shadasia Green is kind of wild and reckless, but it was a tough fight. But at the end of the day, man, Green is still a dangerous contender. But I just think when you really start sitting back looking at Savanah Marshall, I just think that jab alone. Savanah Marshall, y'all, see, this is the thing. I talked about this a couple of years ago when she was getting ready to fight Clarissa Shields. Because I was like, man, what's all this talk about Savanah Marshall, Clarissa Shields, the Olympics, and Clarissa Shields saying she was robbed? I did some research. And what I remember coming across was Savanah Marshall had signed with Floyd Mayweather. So she spent some time here in the States learning from Floyd Mayweather and being in the Money Team gym. And the thing is, it seemed like he couldn't really get her fights. So she had a couple of years, I think it was a couple of years, of wisdom being imparted, of tutelage, of mentorship, of training from Floyd and the coaches who helped Floyd. I think Roger even helped her too. But the bottom line is this. Things weren't working out. She came back to the UK, and then she was able to hook up with the Furies, all right? Peter Fury. And you can see when she fights like, she looks like a female version of Tyson Fury. So she has that weird herky-jerky style. But what I'm getting at is she was able to get a lot of experience, a lot of wisdom and guidance from the Mayweathers. Then she was able to get a lot of that and still gets it from the Fury. So when you bring those two worlds together, you get a magnificent fighter, and that's Savanah Marshall. So I don't think Savanah Marshall can have any issue using her reach. She has a longer reach, so she has a superior jab. And I just think she's going to disrupt Shadasia Green's rhythm, and she's just going to keep at a distance. Unless Green has just gotten, like exponentially better since she fought Franchon Cruz-Dezurn. I mean, I don't see her being able to do much with the reach and jab of Savanah Marshall, except try to be aggressive. But I mean, Shadasia Green's aggression is about all she's bringing into the ring, aside from her power. But I just think you look at Savanah Marshall, and this is where I think she really benefited from being around those Mayweathers. She'll use your aggression against you with that timing and countering effectively. So Shadasia Green come running in, trying to get cute with Savanah Marshall, she could get the United Kingdom bing-bings put on her ass. And I truly believe that's what's going to happen. My only concern here is really Savanah Marshall being inactive. Although she seems to have been in a training environment, whether it's for MMA, but it seemed like she never quite left the gym. But I just wonder if her conditioning is going to be what it was, like when she fought Clarissa Shields. Because if so, she's going to be able to control the pace and dictate the fight's tempo. Now, if it's not, I think she's going to struggle to prevent Green from getting into a comfortable rhythm, and this is where Green can create some opportunities. So I just wonder with the inactivity, how that's really going to affect the stamina and conditioning of Marshall, especially if she can't get Shadasia out of there early, and now you see Shadasia is coming at her with that aggression and throwing bombs. If Marshall all of a sudden fatigues and Shadasia can land her power shots, then it gets a little crazy. Also, with that fatigue, although Savanah Marshall is defensively aware when she's in the ring, when you get tired, your hands start to drop. You start making bad decisions. Your mind you start to panic. Psychologically, you start breaking down. Now, anybody who's boxed, if you've even sparred, you know what that shit is like when you start getting fatigued. Your mind, man, when they say boxing is 90% mental, that shit is so true. So true, because you could be in there tired and worried, and all of a sudden you throw some shit and hurt somebody, and you get this surge of energy. You know what I'm saying? So it is very mental. So I'm just concerned about her defensive awareness and having lapses if Savanah Marshall is starting to fatigue, and Green with that knockout power is able to get into an exchange and land something and hurt Marshall. That's where she can get interesting. But at the same time, even with the fatigue and the stamina, Savanah Marshall, one thing about her is she's mentally strong, but her physicality. I remember Clarissa Shields talking about how strong she was, but just her physicality, man. I think although Green's coming in like the pit bull, I think Marshall may be able to fend her off and hold her and maybe able to wear Green down. Because Green's conditioning, even Marshall at her worst, I don't think Green's conditioning can match Savanah Marshall's conditioning. That's just my opinion, but that's just how I see it. And the reason why it all works is because you just got to look at the level of competition these ladies have faced. Savanah Marshall has faced the better competition, and that matters, and the experience, it shows up in the ring. You know what I'm saying? And I just think when you look at Shadasia Green, she has a lower boxing IQ. And I just don't think, even if Savanah Marshall gets tired, I don't know if Green's going to be able to make the adjustments. Even if she recognizes that she's fatigued, she's going to be able to make the right adjustments early in the fight, mid-fight, late in the fight to capitalize. Like, I don't know if she's really going to know how to stay on her, how to cut the ring off. If she's going left, Savanah Marshall going to her left, throw your right hook, bring her back to the center. I just don't know what Shadasia Green can actually do. I'm going to be honest with you. Because when I think IQ for IQ, I just think Savanah Marshall has the upper hand, and she's the one who's going to be able to recognize and exploit weaknesses. I'm not sure Shadasia Green can do that, but again, if she's been in the gym and she's been working, then there's a good chance that she can show everyone that, look, you already know as far as durability, physically I have that, but mentally I have that as well because I've been working on that. And she can get there. Maybe she stands with the Marshall's power, and maybe we see Marshall's not as durable as what we thought because of inactivity. And now she can't stand up to Shadasia Green's power and execute her game plan. And, she can go all downhill. So it's pretty interesting, man. I'm actually glad they made this fight. Both of them 168 pounds. And they're not just taking any and everybody and throwing them on this fight card. They're taking the female fighters with big names to really create that interest in this fight card, which, I'm tuning in for sure. I just wish Clarissa Shields and Jake Paul and everyone in boxing could sort things out, because how nice it would have been to have Clarissa Shields on this fight card, whether headlining or whatever, but just to have her on there. But, she's the GOAT, and she does what she wants to do. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, we'll see, because Savanah Marshall coming off of that brief stint in the MMA world and feeling stronger than ever due to what training she has been doing, it just makes you wonder if early in that fight, if she's going to be able to impose her style and maybe get Green out of there. Some people are saying the deciding factor in this fight is going to be who lands first. Who's got the power edge. So to me, it comes down to boxing IQ and power versus aggression and power. And I mean, if I gotta pick somebody to win here, I'm gonna pick Savanah Marshall. But Shadasia Green, she's just gonna have to understand the situation she's in and use her power, use her aggression. And I don't know if she can how well she can do it, but she's gonna have to find the ability to close the distance. Um, and there's a way she can do it though. You watch Triple G, you watch Canelo, you watch Miguel Cotto, you watch a lot of these guys who are really good at cutting that ring off and being on top of you, man. It's just that relentless pressure. They find a way to apply that relentless pressure. And when you're someone like Shadasia Green, who's hard hitting, thrives, I'm telling you what, when she's able to push forward and get into exchanges, if she can do that effectively, she has a good chance to win the fight. And then Savanah Marshall, like I said, she's tall, she's long, she's strong, but the body is there, long torso. Shadasia Green's gonna have to go to that body, but then she's got to be careful, wary of those uppercuts coming back from Savanah Marshall. So again, if she can slow her down with consistent body shots, she has a good chance. Because one thing about Savanah Marshall, she'll stand and fight with you, but she has good movement. She's a really good boxer. And again, trying to cut the ring off, but Shadasia Green could cut the ring off and be walking into traps and shit. So she got to cut the ring off, force Marshall to use that footwork and try to set traps. And again, just look for the openings. But I don't think she's as fast as Marshall. But she's gonna have to find them openings. And Savanah Marshall likes to fight, so she's there to be hit. And if Green can land cleanly, fight can get really interesting real quick, man. And the bottom line is to train the best she can, because she's gonna have to stay active and aggressive in order to even have a chance in this fight. You know what I'm saying? So we could talk about the knockout power, we can talk about the aggression, but I think that conditioning is what's gonna help her to show some resilience, and meaning that she can take Savanah Marshall shots. Well, if she gets countered, which she will, but she can keep coming forward, and then you can see her maybe getting the upper hand, man. You know, and that's just kind of how I see the fight playing out in order for Green to win. But at the end of the day, I got Savanah Marshall winning the fight. You know what I'm saying? I think Green needs more than power, and I think the fact that Marshall has power and she has technical skills, I just think at the end of the day, if anyone gets their hand raised, it's going to be Savanah Marshall, no matter how much Shadasia Green has expressed confidence in her ability to try to bring the best out of Marshall and how she's ready for a war. I think no matter what she tries to do as far as imposing her style on Marshall, I'm just not sure she can get the job done. All right. So anyway, y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans, all 7 continents. I got Savanah Marshall winning. Shadasia Green to me needs a miracle. Keep cool.